Good morning. Well, I just want you to know that this has been an exciting few weeks since I've known I was going to do this. And then earlier this week, I got a little message from Erica that says, "Do you have all of the information at the beginning of what you just read?" And I thought, okay, I've got to get some help here. So got on and I wrote her back a little message that said, "Good morning. Just finished preparing these things and had no idea it would take so much Bible, hymnal, and soul searching." So I'm here, and you know what? I had the most wonderful morning because I got my cheesy potatoes ready yesterday and popped them in the oven and looked at the clock and determined the time. Suddenly there was a rainstorm that came through, cleaned everything off, stopped raining. I ran out and put my stuff in the car, came back in just in case it rained again. And I looked over my shoulder, and there were two gorgeous orioles feeding at my feeder. Finally, it's the first time I've seen them. I was so excited. I thought, okay, now we have a little bit of light here, and that is such a great thing as an impetus to help me through this, okay? I also want to reiterate something that might be really important for you to do. Downstairs on that table before you go out the door, if you don't have these already, you're missing something, okay? Because this tells you exactly what has happened over the last few weeks of preparation for the season of sabbatical. And one of the things that you will have is the instructions about seeing it if you don't get to make it. Or maybe you can send it to somebody else that doesn't come and that would like to see it. So take those things home, look at them, and remember that the last Sunday of every month for the next 2 months, we're having a potluck, and we start at 10 o'clock. I think that's the greatest idea you guys came up with, and that's part of what Session has done. They have planned all of this. So the name of this message and this season, I'm told, is called "We Got This." Let that sink in for a minute. Because challenging times can be times of our greatest growth. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you being here today. I probably am surprising you that I'm here. But hopefully the message will come from where all that soul searching and checking out Bible scriptures and all of that. I really believe God has put me here for a reason, and I believe that. You know, Pastor Kristen always says at the end of the service, you go nowhere by chance. Somebody put you there. Betty, you did that to me today. I do want you to remember Pastor Kristen and Eric as they take this time away. I think that we want to make sure that we do that to help her become refreshed. And while we're refreshing her and Eric, I hope that we will also refresh ourselves. Downstairs, I brought the Warren County Historical Book, since that was printed in the 80s. It's laying there. It talks about our church. There's another one that's from the celebration when we celebrated 125 years in 2012. And to celebrate 175 years is going to be in 2037. So somebody be sure and tell Ann to get it to the calendar. Now, you're supposed to laugh there. Because I don't expect I'll be here. Who knows? You know, we just don't ever know, do we? We just don't know the outcomes of things. But wouldn't that be something to be able to celebrate 175 years of this church? In 1862 is when it started. And there were two churches at the time, and some of you may know the story and some of you don't, or maybe some of you have forgotten, but there were two churches. There was a Christian church and then a little Presbyterian church. Now, the Christian church, I believe, is the one that sort of had a like the black stuff that you put on, the tarp stuff you put on before a roofing, shingles. It looked like that, sort of like a temporary space. And the Presbyterian church, Presbyterians, they had this one. Okay, so interestingly enough, when the two churches decided maybe we better join together, one of the Presbyterians said, now I don't know who it was, but historically he said, they'll never make a Christian out of me because the other church's name was the Christian Church. So I think that is long-standing joke. Probably, maybe somebody made it up. I don't know. But it kind of, looking back at all the history that we have in this church, I know sometimes we feel that, our church is dwindling. We feel like that, the whole nation is going the wrong way. And yet, on the other hand, there are so many positive things that this church accomplishes because of all of you. I didn't know Erica did what she does about all of this, getting this ready. I know that she's very clever and very talented in many ways. And thank you, Erica. And there's Rebecca. And she does all the stuff that she does. Music. And she just popped right in and did the songs just that I wanted and everything. And Larissa, what you did, starting this baking thing. I haven't baked that much since, I can't tell you when. But you know what? It's part of all the things that you do. Now, I want you to know that you should appreciate not just those three that I mentioned, but those are the ones I dealt with this week. And I want you to look around and think about Session. The people who have served on that this year, or maybe even 2 years, I don't know, that you all have been knowing this was coming. The Presbytery, their association with us to help us pay for filling the pulpit. Also with money, okay? It's a grant. Anne, and all that she does about keeping us on track. And Kristen did some of this too. And I know that there were many others who have started. I mean, you folks just pull together and do what you do, right? So I just think that it's time that we say thank you to all of you for doing these things, to helping us lead the way so that we got this, okay? Yesterday, I was trying to finish up what I was going to say to you. And I got stuck. I couldn't seem to follow what I was going to do. And I went to bed last night and I thought, okay, God, now I've asked you to help me with this, and I'm stuck, and I don't know what I'm going to say next. That's the problem a lot of times. I don't know what I'm going to say next. But I wanted to tell you about, I guess, my family. And my family belonged to a Southern Baptist church. And, we were baptized, dipping in the water. And I'll never forget that. I was 9 years old. And I remember hearing our pastors, all the pastors that came through that church. And after my baptism, we had a missionary. And his name was James Robertson. I still remember that. And it was at church one night. Mom and Dad didn't go, I guess. I don't know why, but they didn't. And I don't know how I got there, but I did. And I have no idea what age I was at that point. But he spoke. He was a missionary. And he spoke. And I went down to the front of the church. And because in the Baptist church, we have an altar call. We just do. It's every Sunday. I can hear, have thine own way, Lord. I can remember singing that a million times. And that's how I was raised. But this minister, or this missionary, I went down front.